Hi everyone. We are Group 10 and our project is called a Sponsor a Backpack, created for Kmart Australia in partnership with the Smith family. Our campaign focuses on reducing educational inequalities by sponsoring at least 1,000 backpacks filled with school essentials for disadvantaged kids across Australia. Our team, Mahika, Omika, Halima, Rachel, and me, work together to design a campaign that connects Kmart values of community and happiness with the Smith family missions to break the circle of youth poverty. In this video, we'll share our journey week by week, showing how our learning, teamwork, creativity shaped this final campaign. So, in week one, we explored what makes a great client services and how agencies build trust and lasting relationships. We learned that being a good client manager or suit is about clear communication, professionalism, and accountability. Our group applied these ideas right away. We set up shared docs for collaboration, scheduled weekly Monday and Wednesday check ins, and divided roles based on individual strengths. This week helped us realize that organization and respectful communication are key to maintaining strong internal and client relationships, a foundation we carried through the project. In week 2, the focuses shifted to creativity. We watched the session by Jack Smith and John Davison from Mindshare, who explained that creativity is really about solving problems in new and meaningful ways. Guided by this insight, our team brainstormed social causes that could align with major brands. After considering options like sustainability, health, and equality, we agreed that child poverty and education created the strongest emotional connection. That's where Sponsor a Backpack was born, linking Kmart back to back range with the Smith family's mission to support disadvantaged students. This week taught us that true creativity combines purpose with strategy, building campaigns that are both imaginative and social impactful. By the end of week 2, our campaign had a clear direction and purpose. Next, Omika will take you through how we expanded this concept in week 3 and 4 through research, insight, development, and early campaign design. Thank you.
In week 3, we learned how to manage projects, specifically how to write a problem statement, project goal, and SMART objectives. This week's learnings were implemented in part 1 of assignment 3, which was the project summary statement. These tools helped us narrow down what we actually wanted to set out and achieve through this campaign. The SMART objective forced us to be specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, and time-limited for our campaign. We also got to practice how to make a SMART objective in class, allowing us to get feedback on our final objective that we would hand in later on. In class, we all worked well together in narrowing down what we wanted to achieve, and later on made a total of 3 SMART objectives that we all agreed upon for the project summary statement. In week 4, we looked at part 2 of managing projects. We looked at possible constraints, risks, and assumptions we may have as a group. We learned about the time constraint triangle, which involves time, cost, and quality, and how one of them has to be flexible and one side cannot be changed without the others. We applied constraints to our project through team member availability, deadlines, format, word limit, and some technology constraints. We also learned the importance of assumptions and how they should be mentioned at the beginning of projects to dissipate any wrong assumptions. For the project, we assumed that all team members would complete their sections, attend meetings, respond to messages promptly, and a few more. This week, we also learned what the work breakdown structure is, which is used to divide up project work to plan, track, and manage a project. We looked at an example of a work breakdown structure and how we must break down each task. We started our own work breakdown structure in week 6 and continued breaking each task down till week 7. Preferably, it would have been better if the work breakdown structure had been completed as soon as possible so that tasks could have been completed earlier.
In week 5, we learnt about time efficiency and effectiveness. We learnt about the time management matrix and how to apply them into our own practices. We did a couple of readings and did a tutorial plan. This plan allowed us to figure out what our time wasters are and how to improve efficiency. The activity allowed us to understand and implement efficiency into our assignment. We also learnt more about WIP documents and the importance of having our weekly meetings. In week 7, we learnt about the return of investments and the 3 key remuneration modules used in the industry. There's commission-based module where the agencies earn a percentage of the media spent or the total campaign budget they manage for a client. There's the retainer module where the client pays the agency a fixed fee, whether it's monthly, quarterly, or yearly, for a specific scope of services. And last but not least, there is also performance-based module. This module is where the agency's remuneration depends on achieving the agreed upon performance matrix, like the sale targets or engagement rates. We learned about the surprise and delight, where we did a class activity where we read out a document pitch and we had to figure out how we're going to surprise and delight our target consumers in our assignment.
This week we focused on gathering supporting evidence and narrowing down our social problem to see how a big idea would fit and whether it would be effective. We found some powerful statistics. For example, 1 in 6 Australian children grew up in poverty, and almost half the families surveyed by the Smith family worried about affording school essentials. We also found out that the learning gap linked to disadvantaged individuals start as early as 2 to 3-year-olds, following them as they grow older. This reinforced the urgency for our campaign and gave us a better understanding on who our target audience was and how we would survey or interview them.
In week 9, we learned about the STAR response structure and the importance of each of the 5 steps: keep calm, never assume, separate, blend, and redirect. We also learned about the 10 most challenging behaviors we can come across and how we can manage them. These behaviors can include tank, grenade, know-it-all, think I know it all, nothing person, maybe person, yes person, no person, whinger, and sniper. For example, when facing the tank, it is important to stand your ground. This is relevant for the group project because when disagreements and miscommunication arises, we now know the STAR steps in order to manage the conflict and keep the group concentrated on the goal. We also know the 10 most challenging behaviors so that we can identify if someone's behavior might be affecting the teamwork of the group, and we will know the right strategies to respond and keep the group on track. In week 10, we explored the importance of emotional intelligence and its 5 key dimensions: empathy, self-management, self-awareness, self-motivation, and social skills. We also examined the concept of bias, distinguishing between conscious bias, which is attitudes we are aware of, and unconscious biases, which are attitudes we are not aware of. In addition, we looked at strategies for disrupting personal biases to promote fairer interactions and decision-making. Finally, we revisited the 10 most challenging behaviors from week 9 as a recap. This was directly relevant to our group project because emotional intelligence can improve collaboration and decision-making. For example, developing self-awareness and self-management skills can help team members regulate their emotions and avoid conflict, while empathy and social skills enable them to better understand other people's perspectives. Being aware of both conscious and unconscious biases ensure that everyone is treated fairly. Finally, recognizing and managing challenging behaviors ensures the team can stay focused on their goals, reduce misunderstandings, and maintain a positive and productive working environment.
Overall, this project has helped us combine creativity with real-world purpose. Through our weekly WIP meetings, we learned how to research effectively, interpret data, and turn our insights into meaningful visual communication. Through developing our infographics and our campaign, it allowed us to think critically about who our target audience was and how we would engage them. While there were some difficulties in the beginning with communication, we managed to refine our ideas and collaboratively work with each other to stay focused on our goal. This process taught us the importance of clear communication, consistency, and storytelling in how to create a persuasive campaign.